Hey guys, so let's talk about when Jupiter of a partner opposes the Mars of their partner. Okay, so this is Jupiter opposing Mars in Synastry. So this is a relationship we're talking about. Now, just to remind you what Jupiter stands for. Jupiter stands for expansion, positivity, wisdom, good things, basically, good luck, uh, a good vibe, if we must say. Good vibes. That's what Jupiter stands for in normal terms. Excuse me. But now, this positive energy of Jupiter is opposing the energy of Mars. Who is Mars? Now, Mars is a great planet that represents energy, action, assertiveness, and its downside would be representing war, bloodshed, fights, but overall, Mars really represents energy, our will to do what we need to do, passion. So both of these energies are really needed in a relationship and for the relationship to be fun and to survive, because remember, Mars also represents our sexual energy, our sexual urges. And in almost all relationships, there's a sexual element in them. So we do need Mars in relationship to be able to have intercourse with our partners, to be able to um, to be active in that context with our partner. But also we need Mars to be able to be fun in a relationship, to do activities together with our partners and not be lethargic. You know what I mean? So that's what Mars is coming here. Mars is coming to give energy. Mars is coming to give passion, towards a partner. Mars is coming to give all the love, all the sexual vibe between the partners. All right. So now imagine now you have the positive Jupiter that expands what it touches, that brings a good vibe, opposing or fighting against Mars that is also needed in a relationship to make it fun and vibing. Now, we must also remember that these planets are best friends. Jupiter and Mars are friends. When we look at planetary friendships. So, how will this play out? Let's talk about it. What do we see is that, first of all, there is a strong physical and sexual attraction, between the two partners. Their energies are just uh, attracting each other. The first time they see each other, there's just that bzzz thing going on. So that's what's happening here. Physically, they find each other attractive. Sexually, they just find each other's energies exciting, and they can also feel like, oh my gosh, I can't get enough of my partner, and they just want to go and go and go and go on for days, just clinging onto their partner sexually. Because remember, Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So when Jupiter, even sitting from the opposite aspect, when it's aspecting Mars, it's still expanding the energy of Mars, okay? But now, the bad side, that this relationship can see is that there's a lot of recklessness. The couple when they're together, they are just reckless, okay? They can influence each other to do the worst of the worst things, or to neglect the most important things in their lives. Because remember, Mars is hot-headed. Mars doesn't think. Mars is action. Mars wants to do now, and Mars wants to do fast. So now you bring the energy of Jupiter, with its opposing aspect. It can lead the action towards the negative side, instead of towards the positive side of life. They can also, these two partners, do lots of activities together, because that's what Mars is. Mars is energy. Mars is physical energy. Most people who do sport, they have a high Mars energy in their chart. So now when Jupiter comes, Jupiter will just expand that, and it will go off the roof. So they will do a lot of travel together, because remember, Jupiter is the lord of the ninth house. It is the karaka of the ninth house. Ninth house represents long journeys, represents travels. So this is what that will happen. Now the travel guru will influence Mars, the action guru, and they will do lots of activities together. You and your partner will do a lot of activities together. You will travel, but again, there will be lots of misunderstandings in terms of efforts and in terms of purpose in life. Why? Because of the opposing energy, right? So now, um, when you have the guru, which is Jupiter, believing in positive things, believing in religion, high studies, all of that, and it's opposing the soldier, that Mars, that wants to do stuff now without thinking, without planning. Obviously, it's going to introduce a lot of misunderstanding between you and your partner. And these are some of the things that could see you and your partner fighting about on a daily basis, where you realize that, oh, okay, you know what, actually we have different purposes in life. Yes, we want to be active. Yes, we want to have lots of intercourse. Yes, we are attracted to each other, but we have different purposes in love. So this could be one of negative outcomes of this opposition of Jupiter to Mars. There will definitely, without a doubt, there will be a conflict in moral or religious views. Definitely. If it's not about moral or religious culture, it could be about higher beliefs. You will have a conflict with your partner for sure. And another thing is that it would be the Mars partner that does a lot of attacking, when it comes to the belief systems. The Mars partner would be mostly on a daily basis criticizing the belief systems of the Jupiter partner, whether it's like about church, or them believing in God or in a certain God, or how they pray, or if they don't pray, those type of things. But this will be one of the negative aspects in the relationship. It's not really a point to break the relationship over, really, but it could be annoying in a relationship. What this opposition also presents is that you and your partner will take a lot of risks together, because remember, the Mars energy or the Mars partner will be mostly the one introducing these risky behaviors. Excuse me. And the Jupiter, because of the opposition, it will not influence in a negative way, but it will influence towards the negativity side of life. It will not be like, okay, now let's pray about it. No, it will be like, okay, let's go out and let's attack. You know, so let lots of risks together, and these risks may really turn out to be foolish, and you and your partner could get yourselves into a lot of trouble. If you're not aware of this aspect part here. Now, because of Moss's assertiveness and Moss's number one attitude, I'm the one, I'm the one, I'm the one, Jupiter feeds off this energy of Moss. Jupiter is more like what can we say? Jupiter is more like a follower in this relationship. The Jupiter partner is just following Moss's action, Moss's needs, and it just amplifies that. That's what it's doing here. So it's not really putting a moral responsibility on Mars, but it's expanding it and it's making things even worse. Okay, if Mars is on the worst side of things, Jupiter is there to even make it the most bad situation ever, the worst situation ever. And what we also see is that there's a lot of overindulgence. You guys are just overindulging in everything. You overindulging in intercourse. You overindulging in purchases. When you do shopping, you overspend. You can, if you have fun, you have the most fun. If you doing sports, you go at it like 110%. Whatever you do is just amplified more than normal. If you are having a party at your house and you're inviting friends, you won't be satisfied with just having 2 friends or 4 friends over. No, you want 50 people to come over. So you really, really overindulge. If it's food, you guys, you're not gonna be happy with just one burger. No, 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 no. You're gonna want the burger, and you're gonna want the pizza, and you're gonna want this and that. So basically, this is what this happens between the relationship. Now, one of the best parts about this opposition is that you as a couple feel very, very strong together. You feel like you are a strong team and you can tackle anything, which is true. And because of this opposition, you could you know you could sometimes feel like you are above the world, which leads to this overindulgence and these reckless decisions or these reckless risks that you take. All right, but overall, if you guys can, I don't know, like if you can control these controversial behaviors that are mostly introduced by the Mars partner, this relationship could be best, because you are able to do the biggest jobs in the world and actually succeed. All right, so see you guys on the next video. Chat to you later. Bye.